Welcome everybody, I hope you're all doing fine. Today's video is gonna be a little bit special, not just because I'm gonna be contact printing cyanotypes from these glass dry plate negatives that I made with our 100-year-old camera, but also because at the end I'm gonna be selecting and signing one of the prints, which is gonna be sent to one of you guys. I really appreciate your support, and to be honest, I just can't wait to see how far we are able to get. So yeah. Now, without further ado, let's jump together into this printing process and keep on watching the video for further instructions on how to get the final print. I always start by cutting the paper to size. This time I'm using Fabriano number 5 paper, which is one of the best for alternative processes. Paper really needs to be remoisturized so the fibers can spread. If I would skip this step, the cyanotype that I would coat on the paper would just stay on the surface, and when developing it basically just peels off, as you can see here. Okay, the paper is soaked now and I can hang it to dry. I will not be drying it completely, obviously, but to the point that it's still moist and not too wet, because if it's too wet, the water that's still in the paper will dilute the cyanotype solution down. Let's give it a minute or two more and prepare the cyanotype solution in the meantime. All you have to do to be involved in this giveaway is to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make a comment down below. It can be about anything. You can tell me where you come from, or you can share your experiences or tips about making cyanotypes. Today I'm gonna be using this smaller foam brush. I will coat this test paper completely and I will cut it into strips later on. And the paper I will use for the final image will be coated a bit more artistically. I'm trying to make the coating as smooth as possible. Okay, so the test papers are now coated, so I can move forward by coating the proper paper that's gonna be used for the final prints. This is what makes the alternative processes so unique. Everything is different, and also that's what I love the most. As you can see, I apply the solution first to the center of the paper and then I brush it out towards the corners. Okay guys, all the papers are coated now and they will lay flat like this over the night. I will turn off the lights now and see you tomorrow morning. Oh no guys, I came back into the container this morning to check how my cyanotypes are drying, and I also wanted to check on my negative I wanted to print with, and this is what I uncovered here. I'm so sad because I was really proud of this negative and this image. I don't even know what happened, but I assume that there was a weakness, a chip on one of the plate was chipped on one of the corners, which often happens with my Kodak Brownie camera. And this night I forgot to turn on my AC, and it gets really cold during the night, so I assume that the pressure from the temperature change made the glass to crack. I really have to rethink a bit now what I'm gonna do. I have to admit that this is the first time for me and I almost lost all the motivation to even proceed and finish up this video. But I would still like to have some fun with cyanotypes, learn more about them, experiment more and so on. So I've decided to select another negative that I've made in one of my previous videos. It's a shot of a swamp that I did with a Kodak Brownie camera as well. So yeah, let's get things ready and start printing. Okay, so I will take the first test strip out now. On the back side I will write down the exposure time I will be using for this strip. Printing times when it comes to cyanotype can vary a lot because they depend on the density of the film or the negative you're using, and also of the support. It can be plastic, or in my case it's glass. That's why I'm gonna start by making test exposures at 6, 8, 10, 12 and 14 minutes. And then up on these tests I'm gonna determine the correct exposure time. For my current printing setup I'm using these two heavy and thick pieces of glass, in between which I sandwich the paper and the negative. The pressure and the contact is very good, but it's not ideal, so I'm gonna be building printing frame in the future for sure. And to expose the plate, of course, I'm gonna be using the LED UV exposure box that I built. I just finished with all the exposures, and here are the test strips ranging from 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes and 14 minutes. I am developing them in tap water. Test strips are now developed, ranging again from 6 minutes all the way up to 14 minutes. For now, when the cyanotypes are still wet, I would say that the one at 12 minutes looks like the winner, because the grass is nicely exposed and so are the trees in the background. But when cyanotypes dry, they tend to darken quite a lot, so I think that tomorrow when I come back to see the prints, I'm gonna be selecting the 10-minute exposure. It's 7 AM in the morning and I've come back to the darkroom to check how the cyanotypes have dried and which base exposure I will select. I'm still deciding between 10 and 12, but now after drying, the 12-minute one seems the best, because the grass is nicely exposed and so is the background. So let's make some actual prints now. I'm gonna start by developing in normal tap water. Maybe later on I'm gonna be also adding a little bit of vinegar. Looks good for now. Yeah, I think I'm slowly getting there. I just added 30 more seconds to this last print. To get a bit more mid-tones, I will develop the cyanotypes in a 5% solution of vinegar in water. I'm using normal white vinegar, nothing special. When developing in vinegar or other acidic environments, you need to usually cut the exposure in half, because the highlights are darkened quite a lot, and that's also how you get your midtones. So yeah. No, this one is too bright. I will try with 8 minutes. promising, this one here. After the development in vinegar, I'm washing the prints in tap water here, as you can see. Okay guys, this is the last test I'm gonna do. It's a 9-minute exposure that I'm gonna develop in vinegar right now. Let's see. Looking pretty good. I think this one's gonna be a winner here. As you can see, I've done quite a lot of tests. I started with these test strips, and then these 4 here were developed in normal tap water with slight variations, and the last 3 were developed in vinegar solution. So these are not dried yet. I will give them time until the afternoon so they dry out completely, and then I'm gonna select the winner, the one that's gonna be gifted to one of you watching. So yeah. 3 days after I did the first tests, the final prints behind me have now dried, and upon close inspection I've selected this one here. It's a 9-minute exposure developed in 5% vinegar solution for 2 minutes. And even though things didn't go as planned, I'm very pleased with this exact print and have decided to give it away to you, my viewers, that followed the instructions I gave during the video. We have time until Monday 21st of December midnight, and I will announce the winner in my upcoming video next Wednesday. So yeah, I would like to thank you for watching and see you next time.